Yo.
Got me mid-swallow. Let's go, baby.
Don't want to get too many carbonated air bubbles in the chest. I know that gives me chest pains big time.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So what's up? Johnny's back, folks. He's back in the saddle.
Two of the absolute slowest 2+ mile runs you'll ever see in your life. Yeah, I mean, it's been wild because it's been, let's see, I guess it depends on what way you go, right? But most recently I had a whole heart issue where I wasn't allowed to do anything because they wanted to make sure that pericarditis was all the way healed. So that takes me all the way back to June, right? But then once you get back to June, before that, I was literally just coming back from a knee/quad injury that had me down for almost a full year. So I am coming up on, so I am daggone a year from then. So I am like right at a year and I'm like a year and 3 months. No running, no real running. You know what I mean?
Like starting over.
Dude, well, on the topic of starting over, I am legitimately using couch to 5K. It's like a ton of walking, a little bit of shuffling here. And it's funny because it's like, all right, and now run for 15 seconds. I'm like, run for 15 seconds? What the fuck? And it's like, by the time I barely get into a run, it's like, and stop. I'm like, did I start? Like, what the hell? But it is one of those things where it's in the 47 years of me walking this earth and of the double-digit years of me running while on this earth, it is the first time that I'm being very, very mature and responsible about my return to running, right? Because as you know, when historically, when we get hurt, we turn like, oh, I'm going to get back into it nice and easy. And that's like a 3 to 5 mile run. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not easy, so I'm like, all right, no, wait, I am for sure getting back. So
Well, good for you, man. It's good to see you back.
Yeah. So on that note, though, let's go ahead and plug this right now. We're nice and early. We're only 3 minutes into the recording.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody. We have a Strava. I'm sure everyone has maybe seen it or maybe aware of it. We have a Strava club thing in there, right? And I just look at the admin settings. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at it correctly. It looks like everyone it's in the club should be able to post in the club, right? And listen, at the end of the day, we're a bunch of runners. We're a bunch of ultra runners. We want to see, this is your chance to not be douchey and get to brag about your run. Like this is the folks that care about it. Becky at work doesn't give a shit about your 30-mile run that you did. Like we do. Cheryl, go ahead and put in like really cool runs you've done, put in the races that you're doing in the weekend, throw some photos on there and like we'll have fun and chop it up and look at different races. You know what we'll never talk about? Pace. No one cares about your pace. No. Show me some really cool gnarly ass runs that you did. Show me some cool terrain.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about getting to see some folks some posts.
Yeah, look up our group, Ultra Running News Network on Strava. I would say Strava is the social media that I use the most.
As if you're listening to this right now, you may or may not have already seen it. I did go ahead and send links out on Facebook, Twitter, and Threads. What we'll do is in our show notes, in the caption for, maybe we'll put it in like some, I don't know. We'll have to figure out.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Instagram is really hard to share, like little things like this on. Like I feel like because there's no picture to attach. I feel like it's weird. I mean, I guess I could snap a picture of like the darkness outside my window and then post it. I don't effing know. So anywho, join the club, show us some cool runs. I'd love to see it. I know we got some wicked fast folks out there. make us feel bad about our slow selves. If you're in the me club and you're slow as shit, and like you're like, but I can climb with the best of them. Show me some dope ass elevation. Do you? Let's have fun and talk about some cool runs.
Well said. Well said. All right, let's jump into some stuff. I just want to do a little follow up to some stuff we were talking about on the last episode. And one was that we were unsure what our friend of the pod got one running what their name was, and it's Robert, and Robert is in Minnesota. So thanks, Robert, for sharing that, and we appreciate you interacting through social media.
Wasn't Robert also the one that's like, I'm your one listening in Rhode Island? Wasn't that him also?
No, that was Cole Crosby.
That's right. That was Cole. Yeah. He's
our one listener in Rhode Island.
Yeah. I was like,
there's a few states where I'm pretty sure we just have one listener.
Yeah. So. I love it.
Shout out. And also I wanted to follow up on, our friend Stephanie, who got second place at Canal Corridor 100. She reached out on Facebook and commented a little more she said she had a comfortable walk run ratio the entire race, felt relatively good throughout. The beer tasted good Sunday morning. And she also wanted to mention something that I did forget to mention in that episode, was that Indiana Trail 100 is the final race of the Midwest Grand Slam. Or if you do all 5, it's the Super Slam. So
I saw a dude completed it this year. That's correct. Like it totally slipped my mind. Yeah.
Well, and I think she said that Brenda Johnson won the female division. I don't know if that's the Grand Slam or the Super Slam, but she won the female division in 4 of 5 of the races. And it was a Super Slam. So she beat the Super Slam record by 14 hours.
Golly, dang.
So congrats to Brenda. Dude, that's really cool.
Beat the Super Slam record by 14 hours.
The Midwest Super Slam, yeah.
And that's 5 races, right? Because
That's right. It's
because Indiana, obviously, Mo, Wisconsin, Kettle,
Burning River. No, is it Kettle? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Kettle, Indiana, Burning, Mo. Oh my gosh. But anyway, here's my thought though. Here's where my mind was going with that. The fact that you beat the record by 14 hours, even if there's only 5 races, that means that
sorry to interrupt. Hallucination 100.
Hallucination. So if that's 5 races, if you if we round it up, that means she bettered the pace or the time for each race by 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like dude, that is like effing insane.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's not that she went out and did really great on a run. She went out and mopped the floor on 5 runs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is badass. Holy hell. Hey, Steph, thanks for the heads up. That is amazing. Good looking, Steph.
Yeah, great info to share, and congrats again to Brenda Johnson. We'll have to look more into that and maybe talk a little bit more about it in a future episode.
Yeah, I gotta look up Brenda Johnson. Evidently, she's a freaking goat. Good God. Holy hell.
Also shout out to Timothy Lucas, who reached out, said he finished IT 100 this year.
Yeah.
Looks like he laid down a pretty stout 21 hours and 56 minute finish.
Yeah. He I think, did he comment? I was just looking to go sub 24.
Yeah, he did.
What the fuck? I'm just looking to go sub 24. Oh, hold my sub 22.
Yeah.
Damn.
hold my beer.
Yeah.
No, congrats to Timothy, and thank you for reaching out. Good to interact. All right, let's get into some stuff that some race results, and I got to share a different screen now. Let's see here. We're gonna talk about Moab, which I believe was still going on when we.
Yeah, it was. I think the winter was done, but they were still wrapping it up.
Yeah, so during our last episode, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up. All right. Well, oh, here it is. Sorry. Okay. So Moab 240. Moab 240 is one of Candace Burt's races, her 200 plus mile races, and takes place surprisingly in Moab.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it's as much elevation gain as the other 200 miles, Bigfoot and Tahoe, but it is pretty technical in some areas. Jeff Peltier, the trail running filmmaker out of or YouTuber out of Canada, he has a great video from Moab that he did. He did not this year, but last year he got second place at Moab, and he's got a great video from the race. So if you want to see some of the footage from Moab, that's a good one to look up. And also Andrew Glaze was in Moab this year. He got heat exhaustion. Like, that guy puts his body through so much, like, so he gets heat exhaustion, but he did get just enough miles to get his 100 for the weeks. He has, like, I don't know, 240 consecutive 100-mile plus weeks, something like that. But anyway,
I mean, it's wild to think about how bad it has to be that he gets heat exhaustion, right? Yeah. Speaking of the men's winner, I shared out he did a TikTok. The men's runner did a TikTok of, like, what it's like post 200 miler, right? And I shared it out on all the socials that I've already mentioned 10 minutes ago. So it's on there. If any of our listeners are thinking about doing a 200 that hasn't done it yet, I can attest a lot of what he's talking about is pretty right? Like, he's being a little dramatic about, like, might have to lose my little toe might fall off. Shut, dude, bro. Your little toe's not going to fall off. So I don't know if he's being tongue in cheek when he said it, but, like, you can definitely see when he's talking. There's times, even in the little TikTok he's doing, there's times where, like, the lights are on and no one's home, and then he kind of, like, a little bit of light goes back in the eyes and he's talking again. Anyways, he did a pretty cool TikTok that describes, like, recovering from a 200, because recovering from a 200 is different than, like, the amount of swelling is absolutely insane. Like from about mid shin down, from Achilles down, the amount of swelling that goes down is just absolutely biblical. Anywho,
even with the 127 or 128 miles at Fat Dog, my feet were swollen. It was kind of getting a little scary or alarming. Like, after a few days, I'm like, God dang, my feet are still, like, really swollen. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. So the winner at Moab was Max Joliffe, and he finished 2 days, 21 hours, 22 minutes. And Geraldus Sabertus, who got second at Black Canyon, right? Yeah.
He did, and then, but what was fun about him, though, the reason that is he's running all of the 200s this year.
That's right.
And he was running because he did well at Black Canyon, but he won. Didn't he win? Oh wait, no.
Or did he win Cocodona?
That I was trying to remember. Did he win? he won. I think he won Cocodona. And I think he won Tahoe because we were like, oh shit, is he getting ready to sweep the twos? Did he?
Okay, you know what? I misspoke. I wasn't talking about Black Canyon. I got
Cocodona.
Yeah, I got confused. Yeah, so he got first place at Cocodona. At Cocodona 250. He passed Bronco Billy with like 4 miles to go or something. And
I think he won Tahoe.
He did.
Yeah.
I'm sharing his ultra sign up right now. So yes, he did. He won Cocodona. He won Tahoe. He won.
Did he win Bigfoot?
He got fourth at Bigfoot, but he was first in the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
And then he got second at Moab. So out of Candace's 4 races, or no, Candace's 3 races,
three.
He got
first, second.
Well, first, fourth, second.
Oh, he got fourth at Bigfoot.
Yeah, and then he got first at Aravaipa's Cocodona.
Yeah. So 1-1-4-2.
But anyways, that's a hell of a year.
not a bad effing year.
Yeah,
like, that's nuts.
Yeah, totally. Kevin Carson, and Geraldus's time was 3 days and 1 hour and 22 minutes, and Kevin Carson was third 3 days, 2 hours and 24 minutes. Sarah Ostaszewski, and I feel like we've mentioned her name a few times this year.
It's the sisters.
Oh, the twins.
Yeah, it's the twins.
We think that they're. We verified. We verified, right?
Well,
unless cousins.
No. I think we officially, unofficially landed on either A, they're twins, or B, mom and dad made some poor life decisions and had a kid and immediately had another kid afterwards, right? Like I can't wrap my head.
Right.
Because she has the same birth year. Well, not the same birth year, but they're both like 34, I think it said, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so she is like both sisters or both Ostakowskis are absolute badasses.
Yeah.
The one is clearly more of a mountain runner. The other one is still extremely good.
It's all coming back to me now. So Sarah got first for the women in 3 days, 4 hours, 57 minutes. And Rebecca Rick was second, 3 days, 11 hours and 8 minutes. Catherine Edwards third, 3 days, 11 hours and 57 minutes. 3 days, man. That just gives me anxiety.
Dude.
Because two nights is enough, man. Like, oh my God.
I know I've told this story a bunch of times. But to this day, one of the things that really like makes my mind hurt is when I ran Tahoe, right? I finished in 96 hours.
Oh man.
The winner of the race finished in 56 hours. And I mean, it's funny because I remember sitting at the finish line. Like I very distinctly remember sitting at the finish line in a camp chair and was like, hey, by the way, like what did the winner do this in? Because I knew, you know what I mean? Like I'm sitting there watching the time click off and they're like, oh, 56. And I remember the first thing that went through my mind was, holy shit, he has a full work week worth of billable hours.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if you're like a lawyer or an accountant, like if you're like a contract worker, my dude could have billed an entire work week.
Yeah.
While my ass is out on that trail still trying to finish. And I just remember that really warping my mind. Like like the 200s are so absolutely hysterical how long they can truly take. I do enjoy them. And in a weird way, that might be like it might be where I have to live from now on, because it's anything I'll be able to go that slow, because like they are much more emotional and mental than they are physical.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So that's Moab. Let's
talk a little bit about.
Let's move on to Biggs.
Yeah.
So Biggs' backyard is going on, and we'll start with just the U.S. part of it. And Scott Snell won Biggs in Biggs' backyard, and looks like he had 366.66 miles. And Megan Eckert had the assist. She did 362.5 miles. So that's, what is that? Oh, laps. Okay, so Megan did 87 laps and Scott did 88.
88, yeah.
Yeah. So Harvey Lewis's record is from last year is 108 laps, which is like 400. What do we say? 400 and some miles. But anyways, so this is not only the U.S., right, that's doing this backyard ultra, and I think pretty much everybody knows what a backyard ultra is, but in case you don't, it's a 4.167 mile loop that is done every hour on the hour. So if you finish in 40 minutes your loop, then you can rest for 20, but you have to be on that starting line for the next loop, and it's a last person standing type of race. So if it gets down to two people, one of them doesn't finish a loop and the other one does, then that person is the winner. All right. So not only is it it used to be just the U.S. at Lazarus Lake, Gary Cantrell's backyard, but it has blown up into all these different races. There's all these qualifiers to get in, and also it's caught on all over the world. So now they have what's called the World Championships, and I'm gonna share this screen right now because
dude, we might see some shit go down literally while we're sitting here talking about this.
Yeah. So I believe it's 15 runners for every country that are allowed to compete in the World Championships. Isn't that? I think that's how it goes.
There's 50. Yeah.
15. Yep. So, so in this case, the United States and they take the collective times and the collective yards. Because they have the average time per yard. So they keep track of everybody's time per yard. So, and then it also, this website shows you how many runners are left
yeah, it'll show you how many is left. Yellow is who won it. It's the last person standing. The three blues are who's in it. Now, here's what's wild. And so it took me a little while to realize this. If you were to, for example, scroll down to like Ireland or Malta, there's no one in yellow, right? There's no one in yellow.
Oh, which that means that two people dropped out or didn't finish a lap in time.
Yeah. So they don't have.
There's no winner.
There's no winner. Yeah. So Ireland and Malta don't have winners. It looks like Ecuador's winner was I don't know why Ecuador's winner's in red. Like that I don't quite. Oh, completed less than 100 but has not. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, dude, it's crazy.
So there's literally like 61 countries in this thing.
Yeah.
That's insane. This is like blowing up bigger than the Olympics.
Yeah. So if you look at like Ecuador,
how cool is that?
Yeah. If you look at like Mauritius and Brunei, Cyprus. Like theirs is in that weird, like weird pinkish color. It's the winner. It's the winner, but did fewer than 24 yards.
Oh, okay.
So they did fewer than 24
there.
yards.
There it is.
Yeah, it's right at the bottom. And then completed less than 100, but has not DNF'd yet. And so there is no more light pinks. There's no more light pinks left. We are literally down to just 3 people out. That's it. Across the globe, across the U.S., we're down to 3. And they're all from the same country. And I believe they're on yard 108 right now.
Yeah. So according to this, they completed yard 107. And it's 442 here in California. It's 742 for you. So either they're on yard 108 or they're starting yard 108. But I'm guessing that they're on 108. So Belgium. Okay, so United States is in third place for the World Championships. Australia is in second place. Belgium is in first place, and they still have 3 people out who have completed 107 yards, which means that if those 3 people complete the next yard, the 4.167 mile loop, they will be tied for Harvey Lewis's backyard record. Yeah. And we could be seeing it, like Johnny said, we could be seeing it happen during the show.
We're recording. So it's insane. Now, what I don't, of course, okay, it makes a lot more sense now. It totally makes sense. Okay. I was getting ready to say, like, I don't understand how some folks are ahead of other folks, but it's all about the number of yards completed.
Yeah, it is number of yards, collective yards completed for your 15, your team of 15. The average doesn't really matter, I guess, in the rankings. The average time per yard, unless maybe there was unless you needed a tiebreaker, maybe they would use that. Look, I just refreshed it.
No, it's been
completed yard 108.
Dang. Completed 108.
Oh, wait. Oh, that they're not in dark blue yet. Completed 107, still on 108.
Yes, still on 108.
Okay.
So they got it. Now the big one will be completing 109.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dude.
But we are seeing history in the making here.
Yeah.
So 108 yards is 450 miles. And you're not sleeping. Like, you might grab 5 minutes, like maybe.
You're probably not really grabbing that because it's 4.1 some odd miles, right? And so if you look at the averages, how long it's taken them to run them, like some of the averages are like 49 minutes and 55 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. And so, dude,
you gotta eat. You gotta
and so you might
go to the bathroom.
You might get a couple of winks in, and it's like, all right, back to the gate, and you're like, son of a bitch.
And you have to be nuts. You have to be on the line too. You can't be sitting in a chair and that's what happened in the backyard or the virtual one during COVID. The guy wasn't on his treadmill. Like, he was a couple seconds late stepping up to his treadmill. Anyway, this is exciting. So we're gonna come back and revisit this.
I will. I'll keep this up on my other monitor while we go on.
Okay. And Lazarus Lake, he did actually comment. He commented on the Facebook page last night. And just so I don't have to quit sharing and reshare. He said, Big Dog's Backyard Ultra, 89 hours. Well, the dust has settled here. Meg and Scott are probably already asleep, meaning that those were the 2 that were battling for the win, and they finished. So, and then he's going to get something more than 20 consecutive minutes himself. He said, meanwhile, halfway around the world, he sees that Ryan and Phil have cut our lead to 11 hours. He should be back in time to watch them pass. No doubt they will, especially as we are now a sitting target. As you know, I hate to see our team lose the place they work so hard to hold, but who better to take it than Phil and Ryan, superb athletes and great guys on top of it. So that's Team Australia. He didn't really mention Belgium, I guess. He did in a post before that, though. So anyways, it's it's going on. We'll come back to it. We got to get to some other stuff.
Yeah.
The California Fall Classic, it was over the weekend, and the California Fall Classic is Lake Sonoma renamed. This is Lake Sonoma 100K. Now, the famous Lake Sonoma race is the Lake Sonoma 50, which used to be a golden ticket race a while back, and it used to draw a lot of elite runners. But after a certain point, they took the golden ticket away from that race, and also they said that 50 milers can't be Western States qualifiers anymore. So they came out with 100K, and it's held at a different time than the 50 miler. The 50 miler is held in the spring. The 100K is held in the fall. It was last weekend, and it is a Western States qualifier now. And this is at Lake Sonoma in Healdsburg, California, which is north of San Francisco. It's some rolling trails, but it really does, the elevation really does add up there. But and the men's side, Kevin Stewart had the lead early and kept it the whole time, winning in 9 hours and 59 minutes and 30 seconds. And then that's the third fastest course time. Connor Rosenblatt was second, 10 hours, 39 minutes. And Pedro Avila's 10 hours, 48 for third. And for the women, Stephanie Jamrog was 11 hours, 52. She was the winner. And that's a course record, by the way. And she was sixth overall. Charlotte Cox, second and 10th overall, 12 hours, 22. And Odd Hoflennider, 12 hours and 50 minutes for third. There was a 55K race as well. For the women, Pauline Lullier got first, and Matthew Seidel, who's a Bay Area runner, was first for the men. Also, we had this race called the Mines of Spain. And so this race takes place in Dubuque, Iowa. And I don't know why, like, I remember reading about this in Ultra Running magazine, and I'm like, just the name of the race alone was enough to make me interested in it. Mines of Spain is actually it's like a park, I guess, over in the Mississippi River Valley. And I guess it has beautiful bluffs, prairies, and forests in the driftless region of eastern Iowa. And let's see, it's a 20-mile loop. It starts and finishes in Louis Murphy Park, but spends most of its miles in the Mines of Spain recreation area on the expansive network of dirt, grass, and rock trails that run through it. Beautiful views of the Mississippi River, stunning vantage points around the iconic Horseshoe Bluff, as well as panoramic vistas of beautiful grass prairies, dense hardwood forests, steep and technical to flat dirt single track to rolling grass and everything in between. Plenty of hills to challenge you at the mines, ample stretches of trail where you can really open up and find your stride. So it's a 100-miler.
So the cool thing about that race also, Dubuque, is earlier this year, we had a dude who was from Dubuque that like podiumed at another race. And like I was like, oh, Dubuque, that's also where that college is that my son's teammate now plays college lacrosse at. Like he's graduated. Like but like Dubuque, so that's weird. Like Dubuque's not a big city in Iowa, and we've somehow managed to talk about it twice on his podcast. Like this race, and they had a runner. Like they have a dude who I would assume did really well for this race. Also, I'd hope he ran his own hometown race.
Yeah. So there's 14,000 feet of climbing in the 100, 8,400 feet in the 100K, and I'll pull up the results. So for the 100-miler, Nathan Schaefer was first, 18 hours and 49 minutes. Jacob Hallstrom, 19 hours and 13. And Chad Friedley, 19 hours and 34 for third. Any of those names sound familiar?
Oh, you know what? It's funny. I was just getting ready to sit here and like painstakingly go through and see if I could find those guys at other races. See if let's see. Nathan Schaefer doesn't look like our guy. Like I'm not seeing any races that we've talked about this year.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was him.
Jacob Hallstrom sounds familiar, but
nope. That was 2022. So this is all like Jacob Hallstrom. All he's done this year is this. Matter of fact, he must have been beat up because he hasn't ran since 2022. Actually,
Chad Friedley.
Yo, you know what Chad did do? He did the 50 miler of it. Chad did the 50 miler Jigger Johnson up there up in New Hampshire. Now he took sixth place, but like holy hell, that's bro, you finished that race. Never mind like what
that's
place
right.
You remember just finished that son of a bitch.
Diving down that rabbit hole, yeah.
That is nuts. Man, I don't see any of these three dudes. I don't think any of these three guys are who you're thinking about.
Well, maybe he's in the 100K. Mary Namestick was first for the women, 22 hours and 5 minutes. Lily Medina, second, 23 hours and 11. And Sarah Hagman, third for the women, 25 hours and 55 minutes. So congrats to everybody there. The 100K, Nick Pryor, first, 10 hours and 18 minutes. He sounds familiar. 11 hours and 9 minutes for Chad Wayant. And Jeff Friedman, 12 hours and 10 minutes for third. And for the women, McKenna Gross was first, 13 hours 10. Hallie Zuckler, 13 hours and 15 for second. And Lisa Friedley, 13 hours and 42 for third.
Hey, did we ever talk about a race, Trail of the Dragon 50K 50 miler? Does that ring a bell?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's also in Iowa. But by the way, someone who she's not, I mean, like, I'm going to throw a name out there for a Midwest badass. I'm not sure where she's from. Lily Medina or Medina, depends on how it's pronounced. Mm-hmm. Holy shit, dude. Her 2024 is effing insane. And it's like fourth place, sixth place. Like she's fourth at Frozen Gnome, sixth at Rocky Raccoon, second of Case of Convenience. Some backyard she took first at. Kettle Moran, she was 23rd at.
Wow.
Some Shoots in 9, she was first at. Marquette Trail, she was. Marquette Trail. I think we did talk about Marquette Trail. That's that one up in Michigan.
I think so. Yeah.
She won that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Barkley Fall Classic. She took fifth at it. Like, dude.
Oh, wow.
Lily Medina. I don't know which I want. Fucking boss lady. That's some boss shit. That's amazing.
Very nice. All right. Grand Templiers in France was over the weekend. And I only really wanted to talk about this briefly just because John Kelly took a break from his hurricane cleanup, his heroic efforts, really. I mean, him and his family have been like delivering generators and food, and just they've been working hard. But he took a break from hurricane cleanup there in North Carolina to go over and run the Grand Trail des Templiers, which is the main event is a 50-mile race, and it draws like crazy talent every year. It's in France. There is prize money too to the top 10 finishers. First, second, third places receiving 10,000 euros, 4,000 euros, and 3,000 euros. So, and let's see here. I think I had a better. Oh, there's John Kelly finishing.
Yeah.
He says it's 100K. I thought it was a 50-miler, but looks like he was 15th.
First non-French finisher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what it is.
That's crazy as hell.
Yeah. Okay. So, first place, 6 hours and 38 minutes, was Thomas Carden. And for the women, Caitlin Fielder was first, 7 hours and 42. Caitlin's from New Zealand. Thomas is from France. And okay, second place for the women, Sylvia Nordskar, and I know we've mentioned her name, from Norway, 7 hours and 45. And Blandine, I don't know if it's the same Blandine that we talked about before, but La Hirondelle from France, 7 hours and 48 for third. And second place for the men, Miguel Arsenio from Portugal, 6 hours 57, and Andrew Simone from Spain, 7 hours and 2 minutes. Doesn't look like nobody from the United States. Oh, Jennifer Lichter got 5th from the U.S. for the women. That's the only top 10 American. Also, Diagonale de Fous was this weekend. And I'm going to venture out there and say Diagonale de Fous is equally as hard as Hard Rock, if not harder. And Dylan Bowman has some great video footage of Diagonale de Fous from a couple years ago when he, I believe he got second place there. So anyways, it's a very technical, there's like 32,000 feet of climbing. It's a Hard Rock qualifier. Is that the race where poles aren't allowed? I'm thinking maybe.
I thought that was the one that's in Italy. You're not allowed to use the poles. The one that we just talked about a couple weeks ago, and it has like all the different. We were like, oh, we should
maybe.
It's like right around September 15th.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's probably not the case here at Diagonale de Fous, but anyways, super tough race. And Matthew Blanchard, Frenchman living in Canada, got first, and Jean-Philippe Tishumi second for the men, and Ben Demon third. And for the women, Manon Bohard first, Marilyn Nikachi second, and Pauline Gradel third. So, and that's in the main race there, the 100K. Oh wait, 175K. Sorry, it's a 100-miler, Diagonale de Fous, and it's on this island, dude. It's like I think it's like southwest of Africa, and it's a French island, a French-owned island.
Yeah.
So, and if I remember right, Dylan Bowman was talking about to travel from Paris, which is where you usually fly through to get there. From Paris to that island is a 12-hour flight.
What?
Yeah. So It is way out in the ocean, dude.
Dude, that's wild as shit.
Yeah. And the footage from it's really cool. I recommend finding that video. I think it's maybe a free trail video, or if you look up Dylan Bowman Diagonale de Fous on YouTube, you can find it. All right. And yeah, so it's in the Indian Ocean, 102 miles, 32,800 feet of climbing.
Wait, it's in the Indian Ocean?
It says the longtime Indian Ocean island.
Well, then that's not southwest of Africa. That'd be east of Africa.
I'm sorry, east. It is southeast. Yes, I had my. I'm directionally challenged, folks.
So it'd be like east of Madagascar. Like it's like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, dude, that is what. I bet that effing race is hot.
Very. Yeah, it's on the La Grande Raid Island, and I'll show you. Didn't come up on the map. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Stone Steps 50K was over the weekend.
And the Nasty Natty.
And that's in Ohio. Yeah, Cincinnati. It's a loop course. And let's see. Have you ever run that? I haven't.
I have not. It looks like it's a pretty old school race too.
Yeah, a series of loops inside Mount Airy Forest.
Yeah, I'm not even sure where that is.
Jonathan Parren, first in 4 hours and 56, and Molly Cash first for the women in 5 hours and 21. Laurel Highlands was also this weekend, or last weekend. Jesse Irwin was first, and this is in Ohio, Powell, Pennsylvania. Pretty famous 50K race.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Irwin, 4 hours 42, and Sarah Zambati, 5 hours and 35. Pony Express was also last
that
weekend.
Laurel Highlands is one of those 50Ks. You better come with your chin strap. You know what I mean? Like that thing is.
Yeah.
I've heard. I think Chaz has ran that. And
I think so.
He said that thing is brutal. He said that thing is hard. So that's one of those 50Ks, man. Like, you know,
Pennsylvania technical.
Yeah, you get a couple of those. You get a couple 100-milers. You get some 50s, 100Ks, and all of a sudden you start getting a little bit of a big head. Like, it's a 50K, and that thing will
eat your lunch.
That thing will jump off into you. You're like, oh shit. Yeah.
Pony Express is this race in remote western Utah, and it follows the old Pony Express route. And this is a race that takes place all on dirt road. And I think Davey Crockett from Ultra Running History podcast, also author of a few books now, great guy. I believe he puts this race on, but it's all like nice, smooth dirt road. And I believe I don't think there's any aid stations because it's mandatory to have a crew at this race. So you have to have a car.
Okay.
It's about 3,000 feet of climbing, I believe, for the 100-miler. So it's like there's really no climbing. But anyway, yes, 3,000 feet elevation gain loss. Crews are required, yeah. So let's go to the results of the Pony Express. That would be a race. I think that would just be fun to do. Like
that'd be super fun to do. Yeah,
it'd be fun to crew because you're in a car and you're kind of like going ahead of your runner. And
what's funny is like this would. Like, I mean, I'm going to say something really dumb. This would be a fun race to do with a bunch of buddies because it's not crazy hard, right? So like you're not going to get all kinds of like separation. Like this is one of those ones that like you and like 4 or 5 buddies like, dude, let's just go out and like fiddle fart around and just slowly knock out a 100-miler.
Yeah,
like this would be a fun race to do.
There was some rules about sharing a crew. I think 2 runners could share a crew, but they can't be more than a certain distance apart.
Interesting.
Yeah, there was some strict rules about that, but
I mean, this is a kind of race that you almost don't even need a crew.
Well, like there's no aid. There's no aid.
Yeah, but I mean, like you could throw it together enough. You might run low on water. I say you need
water and food. Yeah,
food you could carry. The calories you could carry. The
you
water.
Could. It would be heavy at first.
Yeah,
like for the first 60 miles, but
you just get faster and faster, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Lighter and quicker. Bryden Anderson won from Meridian, Idaho in 18 hours and 19 minutes. And for the women, Nicole, Nicole Lowe McBride was first from Farmington, Utah, 21 hours and 25 minutes. They don't separate out. So there's only 22 finishers and 21 DNFs and 1 unofficial finisher.
I wonder, it's rural Utah. It is mid-October-ish. It doesn't look like it's high in elevation. Like I wonder what that race is like. I wonder how hot. You know what I mean? Like how hot, how cold that gets.
Oh, I'm sure it's hot during the day and cold at night. I'm guessing. But here's a picture of that road, dude. Look how that's just like nice, easy running.
You know what? That's that nice, easy running, and then you accidentally step on one of the rocks that's a little bit bigger than the other rocks, and it just shoots like you're like, oh, son of a bit, like stepping on a Lego. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's 2006. There's some snow next to the course.
I would have had a case of the ass if I go to a desert race and I get snow. I would have been so mad.
But yeah, this is like one of those races, like kind of like that the Heartland one or whatever that we looked at in the last episode. How it's just like that dirt road for miles and all right. So, anyways, this would be cool. There's another race that I wanted to look at just because I thought the name was cool. Bimblers Bluff 50K. Oh, and the other reason why I want to talk about this race is how often do we talk about a race in Connecticut?
Dude, I was just sitting there kind of thinking about that. Like it's like where like I can't even imagine trying to find enough rural area in Connecticut to scroach out a run. You know what I mean? Like it's a pretty popular. Yeah, I don't know. That is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it looks pretty scenic here from this picture. It
looks super pretty. Yeah,
off-road foot race starts in Guilford Lakes School, passes through several interconnected woodland preserves in southern Connecticut. Rolling forest roads are single track that can be rocky. Provides a true test of runners' fitness, mental, and stamina. Okay, so we had 86 finishers, and Daniel Rogas was first, 4 hours, 41 minutes. Jeff Grant second, 4 hours, 47. Ian Connell third, 4 hours, 53. And for the women, Jessica Crandell first, 5 hours, 54. And Elsa Martin second, 6 hours, 55. And Michaela Van de Veer third, 7 hours and 1 minute. Uwharrie was this weekend as well. That's a pretty famous race in Troy, North Carolina. James Rosenberg was first, 5 hours and 43. And for the women, Natalie Daniel, 6 hours and 35. Is that? Oh, that's the Gold Rush 50K. So this is part of the Uwharrie races. But the 100-mile, Vladimir Martinez Jimenez, 23 hours and 21 was first, and Marissa Miller for the women, 29 hours and 15. All right, Delirium 24-hour. I just wanted to talk about this because Costume Chick brought it up. She was out there. Delirium takes place in Beaufort, South Carolina. More specifically, I found out Ladies Island, which ironically enough, I lived on Ladies Island for like 3 months back in 2001 after college. I went down there and stayed with a friend for 3 months.
That's awesome.
Worked at Publix and did some substitute teaching. And yeah, it was a fun 3 months. Anyway, yeah, it's a 24-hour race, and it actually is really close to where the house that I lived in down there.
That is weird.
Yeah, very, very weird. 33 finishers. Michael Furman was first, 120 miles. Looks like Costume Chick Charlotte got 66 miles. All right, moving quickly, there was a couple FKTs recently. So Nolan's 14 is 14,000 foot peaks. You have to do it within 60 hours. It's 44,000 feet of climbing, and it's 100 miles. Well, 90 to 100 miles. There's no specific route. You can do it in any way you want, but you have to summit each of the 14 peaks. So this isn't the FKT, because the FKT is an add-on called Holy Nolans. Okay. And Holy Nolans is the 14 Nolans within 60 hours, plus adding on this additional summit called Holy Cross. And it adds 25 miles to the trip.
God.
And Alex Walker just set this FKT 2 days, 21 hours, and 47 minutes.
What was the 14er that we were talking about that we couldn't wrap our heads around how people were doing? Remember that one? It was like a husband and a wife or something like that.
It was like all the 14ers. The 14ers in Colorado.
Yeah,
so.
I remember us looking at that one and like, wait, how did that even happen? Okay, yeah. And like that had a really bizarre like requirement to it.
Yeah, totally. So Alex Walker did set the FKT for Holy Nolans. The Nolans 14 in itself is super hard, and there's like a northbound and a southbound, and those David Hedges holds the northbound supported FKT 1 day and 15 hours, which is insane. And southbound unsupported Joe Grant 2 days 1 hour, supported Andrew Hamilton 2 days 5 hours. So interesting that the unsupported is for southbound Nolan's 14 is actually quicker than the supported. And there was another FKT on the Centennial Trail in South Dakota, which is a 125-mile trail, 20,000 feet of climbing. And it goes through prairies and mountainous areas, begins at Bear Butte State Park. And it goes through Fort Meade Rec Area, Black Hills National Forest, and ends at through Custer State Park and ends at Wind Cave National Park. So I'm sure the scenery through that whole 125 miles is just epic. And we have a female supported FKT that was just set by Emily Wanless in 1 day, 9 hours and 13 minutes. So it was just talking about the Centennial FKT. It's 125-mile route in South Dakota with 20,000 feet of climbing. Starts at Bear Butte, goes through Fort Meade, Black Hills, Custer State Park, and ends in Wind Cave National Park. Emily Wanless, 1 day, 9 hours, 13 for the supported female FKT.
Who?
No, I'm sorry. That was in 2020. I'm talking about.
Wait a second.
I'm talking about Sarah Powers. Sarah Powers.
She did it unsupported.
She did unsupported in 2 days, 10 hours, 27 minutes. And she just did that. See, it was the same day. October 11th. It was just different year. That's why I got it messed up. So I'm glad you sat down. And
dude, what's crazy? I was like, damn, this chick is a badass. She's just going for all the FKTs on this course. I was like, holy shit, she got the supported, the unsupported.
Oh yeah, so Sarah Powers just said it this year. Now, unsupported.
Now listen, I don't mean to get too far out in front of ourselves, but do you know what you and I can go set right now if we wanted to? Do you see it? You and I can go set
the supported.
No, the out and back. Look at out and back. Hey.
Well, I actually have one, and I'm not gonna disclose it on.
So you never lose it.
I'm not gonna disclose it on the podcast. I'll tell you about it after we're done recording. But I do have one in mind that I am gonna do, and maybe it's something I'll do next year because I don't know. I'm maybe taking a break from hundreds if I don't get into Western States or Hard Rock. So
yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah, and more to come. More to come.
All right.
So I did want to talk about in an episode earlier this year or before 2024. In one of our first episodes, I believe, we talked about AJW wrote an article about 5 predictions for 2024. So he just recently released an article about the which of his predictions has come true. And actually, I think I pulled up an incorrect article. Let's see. Because I pulled up the original article.
Yeah. Yeah, this is from December 29th. Yeah. It is. So while Jamie pulls up the new one, right, the 5 that he predicted back on December 29th of 2023, the 5 things that he kind of predicted was growth of mom and pop events is something he talked about. He talked about the professionalization of ultramarathon coaching, which talked about that. And then large sponsorship deals, extreme weather events, and then talked about number 5 was growth in the popularity of 200-mile or longer races. So those are things that he wrote about back then. And I think the article he released now was supposed to be about like how close did he get or something like that.
Yeah, or like which of them have come true. But I actually can't find it because it's not in his tap room on I Run Far. So
we'll track that down and we can talk about maybe next week once we track it down. But I think it's kind of interesting because like just off my gut instinct, right? Like just anecdotally thinking about it kind of breaks my heart to think. I think he was probably wrong on number 1, right? Like I don't think the mom and pop events have grown, which breaks my heart. I think if anything, I might be going the other way. And I'll be as neutral as I can, but we know why.
I will say coaching does seem to be a bigger thing now. So
I mean, just in our circle of friends, right? Like it's funny because like we used to kind of like poke jabs at like people who were getting coaching, and now, we have two guys in our little circle that are like, hey, it is the real deal. And you know what? For both those guys, it has paid immense dividends. And like it's kind of funny because like in my mind, when I thought about coaching, I was like, oh, it's a way to hold accountability. It's a way to keep you on track. And yeah, that's one of the purposes it serves. But both of the guys that we know, they will tell you that, listen, it did that, but it did it in the other way. It held them accountable to not overdoing it, to slowing down, to doing this. It held them accountable to things that was counterintuitive to what we would have probably thought. And it made them much stronger, much faster runners. So professionalization of coaching 100% has happened.
Yeah. And that's one of the ingredients that I think I've been missing in my training is the whole like slowing down part, like as we get older, it takes longer to recover. And, it's hard to accept that. Large sponsorship deals. I'm thinking that, yes, that I think that is happening.
Yeah.
Extreme weather.
I mean,
look what got canceled this year. Eastern States.
Eastern States got canceled. I saw a couple. Eastern States got canceled. Yeti got canceled. I think a few smaller North Carolina races got canceled. I mean, duh, no shit. Yeah, that's definitely happening, right? Like,
definitely happening. And growth in popularity of 200-mile or longer.
I mean, listen, Candace started it, right? Like, in the U.S., started in the U.S. Let me back that up a little bit, or at least I'll even backtrack that a little bit. She is what made it more well known,
mainstream.
Like she really juiced that, right? Like she really juiced it. They existed before her in the U.S. There was stuff before, but she's the one that really kind of like created the spin around it. But then all of a sudden, Aravaipa was like,
Cocodona.
Watch this. And then
beer.
dropped Cocodona. And it was like, it's just, and now, like, here's where, like, and just like everything, right? Where they see a diminishing return because now all of a sudden, like, now Candace, who's like, it's like, just does, like, she, like, there's a level of, like, tone deafness where she's like, oh, yeah, well, watch this. And now she's trying to put on some bigger race.
300s.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, like, hold up, calm down, like, wait a second. Yeah, and it's like just like weird, like overly competitive, like siblings thing. I don't know, but anyways, I would say 200s have definitely gained some popularity. They're definitely out there a little bit more now. So
totally
it'll be cool
agree.
to go back and see.
Yeah, and I don't know where I read that. I don't know where I read it, but we'll have to find that article and see what AJW's thoughts are on it. All right. So I think that is pretty good for this episode.
Yeah.
I do have a race I want to look at that already happened in early October, but we didn't talk about it because it didn't come up on our radar. But we'll talk about that next episode. So
as we wrap this up, I do have bad news for everyone who's still with us at this point. Just not to ruin anything for you, but we still have not completed. We still haven't completed 108 yet.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned.
Like, I can't, like, the color, like the two blues that they've chosen are like close enough that my eyes can't really differentiate. But it looks like we have not completed 108 yet. It looks like we're still on 107.
Yeah, let me do a brief.
Or we're on 108 trying to finish 108.
I can't differentiate between. It looks like completed. Yeah,
oh, wait.
That's completed.
That is completed. Yeah, so we've completed 108.
Oh, there.
Yeah,
that is completed for sure.
Completed 108. So
okay, so if they complete, if any one of those three complete one more lap, they have the
new record.
But we now have Belgium is the winner.
Yeah. We now have three. We have a 4-way tie for 108s completed though, which is nuts.
Oh, right. Yep. It's crazy. And 3 people are still like, what is the limit? What's the limit?
It's insane, dude. Insane.
This is exciting. So we will touch on this next week. But wow, yeah. So Belgium has the gold medal. Australia is silver. And the United States is coming in bronze.
Bronze. Yep.
Come on, U.S. Cool. You're better than that.
Get your shit together, U.S.
I think Harvey dropped
76.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, right there. Let's see who else. Oh, Russo. I wanted to talk about her. She's from Ohio.
Oh, really? Hey, Have you ever noticed like Snell? Every time I see Snell, the guy who won for US, every time I see him, you know who I think of? Beth Snell.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, oh,
she moved to like Colorado or something, right?
Yeah, her. Yeah. But I'm like, how cool would that be if that was actually her? Like, I don't think there's no like we're not insane, right? That's not her husband, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But like that dude's a runner too.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Dude, that'd be absolutely. How have we not? Like, there's no way that we've not made that connection. I almost feel like a dumbass for even saying it out loud.
Yeah. Well, Jennifer Russo is from New Richmond, Ohio. She timed out on her 48th yard. She finishes a 2024 Backyard World Team Championship with 47 yards. She battled for the last 7 yards, coming in with 3 to 4 minutes of the bell on each one. It's her 4th trip to Biggs, her 12th backyard. She set the world's best backyard mark for a female with 74 yards at Capital Backyard Ultra in 2023. She's contributed to the team in experience and yards. USA moved into 2nd place after Belgium, but this was the posting the other day. So, so she looks like the female record holder, 74 yards. So, all right. Well, congrats to Belgium. Looks like they're well on their way.
Pretty dominant win.
Yeah. But all right. Well, as Johnny mentioned at the beginning of the show, look us up on our Strava group and join us and join the cult.
One of us.
And or look us up on any of our social media platforms. I'll share the link to our Strava group and also to all of our social media platforms in the show notes. Give us a shout. Let us know what you're up to. Let us know if there's a race you want us to talk about, or maybe if you're friends with the race director, let them know and they can reach out to us. We'd be glad to talk about their race as well.
Yeah.
Give them a little free promotion. We're just fans of the sport.
That might actually be like maybe one day we look at having a race director on or something like that. That might be kind of fun too. That
is definitely one of my thoughts for the show, and it's been since we started was to have a segment to feature a race director. Yeah. Maybe once a month or something, and talk about their race and learn more about it. So, and well, with that, we will leave you all. Have a great rest of your week and have a great long run this weekend.
Cool. All right. See y'all later.